Is she to be buried in Christian burial that wilfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is, and therefore make her grave straight. The crowner hath sat on her and finds it Christian burial.
How can that be, unless she drowned herself in her own defence?
Why? 'Tis found so.
It must be so. Offendendo. It cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act, and an act hath three branches. It is to act, to do, and to perform. Ergo, she drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, but hear you, Goodman Delver.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If the man go to this water and drown himself, it is, willy-nilly, he goes. Mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Ergo, he that is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
But is this law?
Aye, marry it is. Crowner's quest law.
Will you have the truth on't? If this had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried out of Christian burial.
Why, there thou sayest. And the more pity that great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves more than they're even Christian. Come, my spade. There is no ancient gentleman but gardeners, ditchers, and grave makers. They hold up Adam's profession. Go get thee to yon. Fetch me a stoop of liquor.
Aye.
In youth when I did love, methought it was fair.
Has this fella no feeling of his business that he sings at grave-making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
'Tis e'en so. The hand of little employment hath the daintier sense. That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if it were Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. It might be the pate of a politician which this ass now or offices. One that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of a courtier, which could say, "Good morrow, sweet lord, how dost thou, good lord?" This might be my lord such a one that praised my lord such a one's horse when he meant to beg it. Might it not?
Aye, my lord.
Why, e'en so. And now my lady worms, chapless, and knocked about the mazzard with a sexton's spade. Here's fine revolution, if we had the trick to see it. Did these bones cost no more the breeding but to play at loggats with 'em? Mine ache to think on't. Whose grave's this, sirrah?
Mine, sir.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in't?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it that day that our last King Hamlet o'ercame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born. He that was mad and sent into England.
Aye, marry, why was he sent into England?
Why? Because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, it's no great matter there. Here's a skull now. This skull was lain in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A wholesome mad fellow it was. Who do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. I poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
In that?
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? No one now to mock your own grinning, quite chop-fallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, Let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is it that they follow, and with such maimed rites? This doth betoken the corpse they follow did with desperate hand fordo it own life. 'Twas of some estate. Couch we a while and mark.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth. Mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warrantized. Her death was doubtful. And but that great command o'ersways the order, she should in ground unsanctified have lodged till the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, shards, flints, and pebbles should be thrown on her. Yet here she is allowed her virgin rites, her maiden struments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done!
Oh, treble woe. For 10 times treble on that actress dead. Whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in mine arms! Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made toward topple Pelion, or the skyish head of blue Olympus!
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane!
They will take thy soul!
Thou prayest not well. I prithee take thy fingers from my throat. For though I am not splenitive and rash, yet have I in me something dangerous which less thy wiseness fear. Away thy hand!
Pluck them asunder! My lord, be quiet! Why, I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag!
Oh, my son, what fee?
I loved Ophelia! 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes!
For love of God, forbear him.
Swoon, show me what thou do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself, would drink up Isel, eat a crocodile. I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I. And if thou prate of mountains, let them throw millions of acres on us, till our ground singeing is pate against the burning zone.
This is mere madness, and thus a while the fit will work on him. Anon as patient as the female dove, when that her golden couplets are disclosed, his silence will sit drooping.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever. But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray you, good Horatio, wait upon him.
Yes, my lord.
Laertes, strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. You'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, impatience our proceeding be.